Jim, on the topic of WWE, let's quickly preview this coming weekend as we are recording's pay-per-view event, or premium live event, Backlash. Backlash 2025, which is what you feel when you realize how quickly they're doing the turnaround on these pay-per-views.
Actually, it's more like reflux. They ought to call it reflux.
Here are the official announced matches as of now. Again, the pay-per-view is this weekend, but there's always time and there's SmackDown. For the Intercontinental Championship, the champion Dominic Mysterio versus Penta.
You know, I saw this graphic and I was thinking I think, what they're going to do. I don't know if they're going to do it right now, but it wouldn't even hurt Dominic if suddenly Penta swooped in and won the Intercontinental title. They may want Dominic to run with it because it was a great moment, but it may be more in keeping with Dominic that he can't beat Penta and Penta takes it and he's got something to elevate him since he's a newcomer, and then Dominic can try to fucking cheat him afterwards. I don't know. What do you think? You keep your ear to the grave. You're Dr. Lucha.
No, I'm not. I am not Dr. Lucha. Don't call me that.
What are the odds down in Guadalajara? What are they saying?
I'm Dr. Lucha. I'm going to steal Jamie Ward's car. No, what they're saying is, I don't know if anyone's saying anything. Obviously, the AAA relationship is there. The Judgment Day are having their.
Well, I mean, what's the smart money on down there, and the
smart
people
money
that know these type of things? Who do they think's going to win between Penta and Dominic?
The smart money's, buying a new couch and going to relax. I don't have an answer for you. I have no prediction whatsoever. I will be happy with any outcome and surprised as any fan would be.
I'll file out silently and give you no trouble.
Jim, the next match is a fatal four-way match.
Oh, Christ.
For the WWE United States Championship, the champion Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight versus Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre.
Yes, and they've got Drew in there, but there's been stuff going on with LA Knight and Priest on TV the last week or two that, again, because they're all interconnected, they're holding each other down. That Drew and Fatu are the stars of this. LA Knight keeps getting hung up in something with, I don't know, the combination to me, I'm less excited about seeing this than I would be about seeing two singles matches, possibly involving the members of this.
Yeah, Damian Priest is becomes less and less interesting to me by the week.
I think Jacob Fatu has to win.
Yeah.
Or at least retain.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hopefully Drew will get back in the mixture of someone else on an individual basis. He's best when he's one-on-one.
Not to say it necessarily applies to this match, but do you think there should be a thought about turning LA Knight heel because of how many baby faces they have and who they have? Would you get more value out of him right now as a heel, or should he stay a babyface?
Well, at this point, I don't know anybody would notice because they're cheering for everybody, but while they're still cheering for him, maybe he could come out and, just drop some baby face on their head and they'd cheer that, and then he could lick his finger and point in the air and they'd go LA Knight, and he might get closer to the top of the card at this point. I just like to see him drop more meaningful people on their heads than the ones that he's been allowed to drop.
Well, Jim, the next match, Gunther versus Pat McAfee.
Well, and as I said earlier, I hate to chew my food twice, but then again, if they're listening on YouTube because they have short attention spans, yes, I think you've got to protect McAfee's standing as a former professional athlete and a full-grown adult man, and not just make him look like a fucking like Paul E, for heaven's sake, physically begging off from people. But he can't be competitive over the long run. Open hot, give him a flurry where he surprises Gunther, let Gunther shut him down and waltz him across Texas again. And then comes the big comeback, but then Gunther shuts him down and he just, without even choking him out, he just beats him brutally until the referee says, fuck, you just don't do this anymore. You're going to fucking hurt him, and just stops the whole goddamn thing. And then somebody else comes out to intervene that hopefully might be his next long-term program. And McAfee looks like a warrior that went out there and tried, but how can you blame a guy that's only had 2 matches in his life and hadn't wrestled in a year and a half or 2, however long it's been, for not being able to fucking hang with this big fucker? And he cheated. And the sun was in McAfee's eyes. Whatever. He tried, but Gunther made good on his promise, and, also is a goddamn badass.
How long should it go? If you're saying Gunther should win, how long?
Well, it depends on how much, goddamn, as we used to say, Marcel Marceau they put in it, where they want to sell that Gunther's walking around fucking in charge of him and denigrating him and humiliating him and all that stuff. But if they're having a 15-minute match bell to bell and McAfee's not been selling or bloody for the last 5 minutes of it, something the fuck is wrong.
Jim also announced for Backlash, for the Women's Intercontinental Championship, the champion Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch is over and the people like her and she can talk and she's got the oomph and the enthusiasm, and I see our girl Lyric there trying. She doesn't have a happy face. She looks like she's got an earnest but sometimes confused face on, from what I've seen. But I don't see people jumping up and down for her. Do you? The Birds of Prey or Birds of War entrance outfit, and it just, she's not connecting. I don't see it. Do you? Do you see it? Do you see it, Brian?
I thought the promo on Raw, she got a better reaction coming out than I thought she was going to get. And she had a couple good lines, but she's still figuring out her way. Becky Lynch obviously is very secure in being Becky Lynch. Who do you think's going to win?
I would go for Becky Lynch.
The main event for the undisputed WWE Championship, John Cena, the champion, versus Randy Orton.
Well, it's hard not to think that John Cena will retain here since he just won the goddamn thing, right? And what would they do for the rest of the fucking year? Oops. So they've done as good a job as they can of talking him into the building on this thing. And Randy's RKO'd him a couple times or whatever, but I think we know what Randy looks like, and he's been having great matches when he's put in a position to. And John's was more about the drama of the moment and the story and the whole thing at WrestleMania than what he looked like at his athletic prime, who still may not have been the equal of Danny Hodge. So they're going to have a smart match. It's going to be very professionally done in most aspects. The question is, will John be able to keep his end of the fucking deal up here with, how he looked at WrestleMania, but not that much of the story involved. You see what I'm saying? So that's going to determine how good the match is. And some way or another, I would believe Cena would still be champion on the other side of it.
When should Cody Rhodes reappear?
Hopefully quickly. Because unless he's been in a severe fucking helicopter wreck, that may be a believable story the way things are going these days. Where the fuck is he? After doesn't he have to come out and say, I'm sorry, I fucked up. Why did I fall for that? That type of thing. or something to mitigate. See, those are sounds that I just make now when I don't have English words to convey my frustration.
Well, those are the matches that we have so far. 5 matches for a pay-per-view this weekend.
It's better than 13 of them, though, isn't it?
Well, don't worry.
In the long run.
There'll be nice 45-minute breaks in between each match for you to go outside and get some popcorn and do everything else. But, Jim, you know, you said something very interesting. You brought up sounds, interesting sounds, and you were making some, and, you know, there's some over here, there's some over there.
They're everywhere.
The sound isn't the issue. The sound getting to you is the issue. You need something to properly play the sound the way it's meant to be heard in a comfortable and easy-to-own fashion. I'm saying a bunch of things because you're about to tell everyone about Raycon.
The delivery of the sound is more important than the existence of the sound. If it's sound you can't hear because it's not being delivered to your ears, then that sound for you is no good. But if the sound that you hear is being delivered to your ears by these earbuds right over here, well, then happy day. That's what you meant to say, wasn't it, Brian?
Happy day. Yes.
Happy day. So, folks, the Raycon everyday earbuds, Father's Day is coming up. Mother's Day is coming up. If your grandparents are still alive, they may want to listen to these things. Maybe they're deaf and you got to get the sounds real close to their eardrums. Well, just stick these in Grandma and Grandpop's ears and turn it up to 11 and watch them jam out to some fucking Zeppelin, man.
Maybe not up to 11.
I did that to this old lady at the mall, and her eyes just rolled back in her head, and she fell over into the fountain.
He didn't do that to anyone, and if he did do it, it wasn't with Raycon. It was with Brand X. Raycon is there for you. Raycon is the brand of the people, and of course, they fit comfortably in your ear. They play the sounds that you want to hear, whether they are talk or music. Jim, Raycon.
Old lady in the fountain. You know, the most important things about the Raycons are not the 32-hour battery life, the multi-point connectivity, the quick charge function that gives you 90 minutes of battery on 10 minutes of charging. It's not even the active noise cancellation, which is often difficult from what they say to find at such an accessible, father-friendly price point for Father's Day as the Raycons. But none of those things are the most important. The most important thing, you know what the most important thing is, Brian? They're not made out of stainless steel like some of the other brands. They're plastic. You know why that's important? Because you've heard on the news, they've had epidemics in all the large cities. People will walk down the street behind somebody with earbuds, and they will hold up a magnet to their sides of their head, and boop, boop, the earbuds just shoot right out of your ears. And they make off with them down the street on a bicycle.
Again,
sometimes one of those hoverboards.
This has not been seen on any news that I've
if you don't want to chase a son of a bitch on a hoverboard to get your earbuds back, get rid of the stainless steel earbuds.
Hoverboard.
And all the metal earbuds, and go for these Raycon everyday plastic earbuds, because then when the guy holds the magnet up beside your head, all you'll lose is the occasional earring and possibly a metal plate covering that brain injury. But folks, they're not going to pull Raycon everyday earbuds out of your head with a magnet. And they come in a spectrum of vibrant colors to match Dad's vibe. I thought it was actually Mom's vibe, but I guess when the kids found it, their mom said, "That's Dad's." Anyway, if your dad is not liking his Raycons, they got a 30-day happiness guarantee return policy. No questions asked. If you try to take Mom's vibe back, you're going to get asked some questions. But right now, please go, ladies and gentlemen, and patronize these fine people, because they're wonderful folks at BuyRaycon, BuyRaycon.com/JCE. You're going to get 15% off site-wide. That's 15%. Site-wide means everything on the site from one side to the other. It's a very wide site. As a matter of fact, you got to have that goddamn VistaVision computer monitor to see the whole thing. It's a wide site. Site-wide, 15% off.
Normal size site.
Normal site with the big spread out picture. buyraycon.com/JCE, 15% off. Can you get a pair of earbuds where one is in one color and one's in the other color? I wonder if you could do that. For some people, that have that skin disease, what is it, vitiligo? You might need a different color on one side of your head.
Okay, problems for another day, but for today and tomorrow, Raycon for good sounds in your head.
Yes.
Buyraycon.com/JCE.